Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today in the bottom left, spawning as our red Terran player for Team Liquid. It is Clem. And in the top right, as our blue Zerg playing for Team Talon, it is going to be Dark in a Terran versus Zerg. These guys have been playing each other an awful lot lately, as Clem has recently backed up, left France. He said too many professional athletes in France right now. Let this esport athlete move to the mecca of StarCraft 2, which is of course Korea. And Clem will be temporarily staying there in preparation for upcoming tournaments. We'll see how Dark is going to deal with him. Dark is a bit of a, I don't want to call him an online warrior because he has a great track record offline as well, but he does play a lot of online events. So does Clem. Both of these guys bound to fight each other a whole lot in the upcoming weeks, and they're gonna become familiar with each other's style, which is cool. That actually is cool. I wonder who that benefits. I feel like Clem is more of a standard player than Dark is, so I feel like the more they play, the better it should be for Clem, because it feels like Dark has a lot of tricks, and he kind of rotates between these tricks and then sees which tricks end up working. I'm not calling him a gimmicky player, but even in macro, he likes to utilize little tricks, maybe little drops or Nidus worms. We see him with like these big run-bys. And Clem, he likes things to be stable, and he wants to be in the driver's seat. And if he can get in that driver's seat, if he manages to climb in and knocks out Dark, then usually he's going to be fine in this matchup. And I'm just kind of curious if we're gonna, eventually, usually if people play a lot, the games tend to become more stable. They tend to be less gimmicky there, tend to be less strict. So I wonder if that's going to be the case here as well. Clem starting out hot, by the way. Getting a clear here on that Overlord. He also killed a drone earlier with the Reaper SCV combination. As this Marine's gonna get sniped. SCV probably is gonna fall as well. Love the move command there with the Marine to the right side, bringing it a little bit closer here to these Hellions. That is a very cute move indeed. Control on this individual SCV is good as well. So Clem is going to lose an SCV and a Marine. Ends up taking out 4 of those links, as 4 new ones instantly get sent around. This is such a classic Dark way of playing this game. This is just exactly how Dark likes to do things. He always wants to be active. He wants to be in control. And Clem is the same. Clem wants to be active. Clem wants to be in control. It's going to be a double gas late third CC opener into a Liberator as a follow-up. Ooh, pulls a couple of workers off. Hellions now planning on moving back home. Maybe wanting to get a kill here. 36 workers to 35. This command center has gone down. That completes the wall. Clem actually really wants those kills. He says, hey, I'm not going to be content with just knowing that they can't get in anymore. No, I actually want to clear them. Takes a bit of damage on the Hellion, maybe more than he should have. So you have the Liberator now moving in. There's no Overlord vision on the top side of the map. Majority of the Overlord spread is actually here on the bottom. It means that this Liberator potentially could deal some damage as it moves in position. Queens need to move forward. Spore wasn't quite done yet. There's no Spore in the main base. Hellions looking for angles as well, are not quite going to end up finding it. This Spore is going to get 2 shots in. 2 shots before Clem uproots the life of the Liberator as he knew it. 2 more barracks have started. The E-base on the way too. A couple of creep tumors are being taken out. Is Clem going to try? Yes, he was going to try, but he ends up not going in. Loses a Hellion here. Pretty much for free. Resources lost is 8 links, 1 drone and an Overlord. On the side of Clem, we have 1 SCV, a Hellion and a Marine. Pretty close. Usually if you delay your third base, your third CC, that is what Clem has been doing here. Generally, you want a little bit more damage. Direct and indirect. Really, Dark hasn't been building that many links. He built 8 initially, now 14 more. Hasn't really lost a whole lot of them. Hasn't lost any queens. Just feels good all around for Dark, to be honest, as he's already touching the 66 drone mark, which is really sufficient for 3 bases. His 4th base isn't done yet, and he can already start thinking about saturating it. We don't have lair tech quite yet. That starts right now. as the next 2 gases are on the way. I'm fully expecting a 5th hatchery to go down somewhere. I mean, I guess there's already a 5th hatchery, I mean a 5th base. But it's going to be on the left side or here on the bottom side after taking out these mineral patches. I don't really care. Clem perhaps in a bit of a rough spot. Perhaps in a bit of a rough spot. 108 supply to 105. So we have a double tank move out here for Clement. Baling nest not done quite yet. It's going to be about, what is this? 15 marines, 2 tanks. The cars also end up showing up. Behind this we have 1 more tank. As the move in forward commences, these queens will try to push it back. We need 1 fat scan here to deal with a lot of these creep tumors. How is Dark going to deal with this? Comes in from the side. Combat shield not done yet, so we're getting a full pickup here. And a drop off behind these minerals. Resources lost fairly close. 1-1 and combat shield now finishing up. Ideally would have had that a bit earlier, as the 5th base is being taken on the top side. And Dark right now probably wants to start his hive. Does he have an infestation? He doesn't have an infestation pit yet. We're getting our Hydra den first, as our first tech structure here on Lair. So we're gonna go into Hydra Ling Bane. Could even be going for like a 2-2 timing with Hydra Ling Bane, to be quite honest. It is not super common to see that anymore, but it is still something that is a threat potentially here to Clem, who might be cutting, no, yes, might be cutting his tank production. It's very common for Clem to do an initial tank push with 2 tanks and then build 1 or 2 extra tanks, just defensively. Then he transitions into these mines, and he does that very rapidly from here on out. And I'm curious to see how he will kind of maneuver into that mid game from here on out. We still have no infestation pit, by the way. I'd like to make all of you aware of that. This is a 76 drone, pure Ling Bane into Hydra play. We're gonna be mining, hopefully, from this rich Vespine geyser. It's gonna give us a lot of gas for not so much of a drone investment. 3 drones in there, providing the value of 6 drones. That's of course going to be a great move. Clem tries to target down some of these Banes. More marines now coming in. There's still no centrifugal hooks, and the tail end of this engagement, we do see it finish up. Not that many marines do end up dying though. Liberator defensively here at the 3rd base. That's actually a great defensive tool, let's face it. That is a great defensive tool because it can't be killed. That's how I like my defensive tools. It's going to actually be a double tank push here, as Banelings get some pretty serious connections with the Marines, but the Marines still manage to stay alive. At the same time, we have a pretty serious Ling Bane attack there. The SCV splits are good. That's not enough SCV kills. It simply is not. Drilling Claws finishing up. We have 3 mine production coming in here as the reactor is pumping them out. 3 more barracks coming in. 4th base about to land. 2-2 is over halfway done here for Clem. As there's not a single Bane in this army. Clem moves him forward, tries to snipe some of these Hydras. Low ground tank definitely helping out, but is it helping out enough? I'm not so sure. As this tank is going to end up getting sniped. We're still purely on a 2-2 army without a hive. Without an infestation pit as far as I can see. And that probably means that Dark here is planning on going for an attack in the next minute, next 35 seconds even. Because this is his power spike. This is where he's going to be the strongest. He's taking out these rocks. This is where I guess he wants to fight. He's throwing down an infestation pit behind this. You have a couple more Banes coming in. A split army out of Clem. So he has a double drop here on the top side, just denying that 5th base. Once more. 2-2 now has finished. And we instantly see a move in. That mine doesn't get the hit it wanted. We have an Overseer, but no Overlord speed. So that Overseer is not actually that fast. The Baneling count is fairly low as well. Clem on even basis with his opponent is adding in a lot of mines. We have a Ghost Academy that's coming in. And I think the Liberators will start being added relatively soon as well. Because that is what Clem loves doing. Once he's in control, he starts building that Liberator count higher and higher with the mines, and he gets that full control on the map. We still have this force on the left side. Let's not forget about that as the mines push on forward. There's a long path of mines leading all the way pretty much back towards this 3rd base, where we still have that Liberator set up. More Marauders are coming in as well, and 3-3 is going to be much, much quicker here for our Terran player than it will be for our Zerg. This army is trying to actually deal some damage. I wouldn't mind if it just stays on the left side, kind of as an anti-base force. It just says, hey, I'm going to keep my army here. You should never be capable of clearing it once it's off creep. And I'm never going in with it. So taking this hatchery is going to be rough for you. See a big rotation towards the left side altogether with this army. Not many mines are nearby. But I think the marine count might just be big enough to actually push this back. 3 more mines do show up. This is a bit of an awkward position though for Clem to fight in, because it's still partially on creep. Doesn't have the 3-3 upgrade yet and does need to be very careful. Baneling's not getting the connections they want or need. 160 supply to 180. Don't forget, in about a minute and a half, these 3-3 upgrades will finish for Clem, and all of these fights will look even worse for Dark as the mines get some decent connections. What even was that? There's 13 kills on this one, 4 kills on this. But they stay alive as well. Seismic Spines has now started. That is the range upgrade for the Lurker. And I'm curious to see how Clem is going to continue from here on out. Will he continue piling on the pressure? Or is he going to pull back and set up a bit more of a defensive style here with heavy planetaries, more tanks? Curious to see. He perhaps has the ability to continue pushing as he continues clearing creep and just parade pushes across the map. Baneling's not getting the connections they want again. Clem quite cleverly using the map against Dark here. Ooh, an actual Baneling hits as the Overseers managed to drag a big mine shot there on top of the medevacs. And on top of a lot of the bio, these medevacs are fairly low in energy. Look at that. There's like 3 with energy left. And all the others, they don't really, their HP isn't that high. Parasitic Bomb could do some serious work here. Dark, with that gold base, of course, is mining like a madman too. Ooh, that's the first infestor that I see on the field. And that is a huge fungal, literally connecting with every single medevac. Hydra's not fast enough to deal with it. There's no Overseer here to clear these mines. That would have been a huge pickoff. Just 10 supply in mines, yeah, that would have been great. There's 15 mines total. There's a lot of those are just positioned over here. I see like 7 or 8 on this screen. So I think that's 9. 9 mines over here just on the screen. Where's the rest of them? Guess just with the army. Not having an Overseer there actually was so freaking painful. Infestor count is okay at 3, but we only have 1 fungal in the mix, which could be considered an issue. Which is most definitely an issue. Nydus network now starting. So perhaps Dark wants to get some Nydus worms. Mine didn't get the connection. Wasn't quick enough at shooting. Another fungal here on all of these medevacs as Dark runs in forward. Is going to clear a lot of them. Where are your Overseers though, buddy? That's what I want to see. At the same time, we have a double, triple mine drop heading into some bases. Not really getting the damage it needs either. Dark is going to continue pushing as these mines are practically useless. They might take out a couple of these reinforcements that could move across the map. I'd love to see that, but Dark, he needs to seriously take care of this. He just needs to clear these mines. There's like 18 supply just chilling over there that I think he could have cleared. He doesn't clear, and now perhaps Clem can try to reposition some of those and make those mines work for him, or take back the position in the middle of the map. Look at this. This is such a rough position to break, and I think that was a missed opportunity there for Dark for sure. Who's now getting his +2 missile attacks. Hasn't built a single lurker yet. Usually we see Dark build lurkers and then go into a Nydus. So I'm expecting an Overseer somewhere to fly across the map, so we can get a Nydus in the main. Hasn't happened quite yet. We'll see how ready Clem is going to be for that as well. Is he familiar with his tricks? And if so, how familiar is he with his tricks? I cast a game between these two guys recently as well, where we saw a lot of drops coming out of Dark in combination with the Nydus. This is not a great map for drops because there's real no easy access. Instead, we're just going to get a run by here into the 5th base. Ooh, mine hits here are fancy. Once again, these mines in the middle, they're really they're serious trouble. I think they're serious trouble here for Clem, as Clem's ghost count also isn't actually that high. There's not enough SCVs to actually repair this planetary, but the lurkers are forced to fight against the bio. Dark, however, takes an absolutely winning trade there. He's now going to start running in with these links. Clem not fast enough with the lift, and as these links get in, I've seen Dark do some serious work here with burrowing, unburrowing, but it doesn't seem like he has burrow researched quite yet. We have a new Nydus worm that's being thrown down here. I don't quite know what our current lurker count is. It's just 1. That's not high enough to deal serious damage. As these links are going to get cleared by the reinforcements. More links now moving across the map. This Liberator doing God's work, by the way. 19 kills on it already. It's going to continue to get more and more throughout the game. Hydra gets sniped, as well as the Queen being taken out. Could have a 6th base. Quick cloak, 4 more ghosts. 6 ghosts. It felt like Clem was doing extremely well this entire time. That move with the lurkers actually scared me a little bit. We had some dicey moments there. I think Clem is going to be more mentally ready for that now, but Vipers have hit the map. Clem is getting his advanced ballistics as well, so maybe that's going to help him. Ling Hydra move, I'm not sure what this is. There shouldn't be anything. It's really tough for Dark to get any damage to the other side though. The setup here for Clem is so good. Look at this split of units. Clem can be so active with this still as well, and that's a problem that I think a lot of Zergs struggle with mightily when they play against Clem. That Clem has this, like, rather than having 40 supply in tanks, Clem has all of his kind of siege supply just in mines and I guess these 2 lips. And yes, there are a lot of ghosts, but the ghosts actually are fairly safe behind the mine lines, behind these yeah, it's kind of weirdly trenched positions. These rocks still being up. I'm not sure in whose favor that is. As the Nydus network or Nydus worm goes down in the main base. Lots of links here attacking as well. Viper coming in with a parasitic bomb is going to hit one of the medevacs. I think got EMP straight after. We have Cloak, but Overseer's now showing up. Will these links be capable of getting a surround? A couple of ghosts actually do end up falling, as the lack of any punch really is it's making me struggle to see how Dark is going to do this. Love to see an Overseer in the main base as the splash actually clears a lot of these ghosts. Oh my god, all of this just dies. The lurkers being in the main base might just end the game here in favor of Dark. Do we have enough ghosts to deal with this? This Overseer is going to finish up. Does it get to go to the main? No, it doesn't. We have a lot of energy on these guys. That means snipes are available, and there is still nothing here that can detect. And that could be an issue. Liberator shows up as well. He's going to try to set up again. We have a Queen now popping out for transfuses, as well as targeting down that Liberator. We can get some more transfuses here, of course. Do we see that? Yep, there we go. Good transfuses. That means these snipes are a lot less effective. There's not that many snipes remaining anyways. Only 8 ghosts. And almost none of them have energy. Nydus does finish up. Liberator's gonna get targeted down once more. Brilliant engagement here out of Dark, who at the same time is trying to clear some of these orbital commands. Is going to get one. Clem was too slow there with the lift. Every single time these lurkers find a position and they set up, Clem starts to struggle. Clem still has a massive bank, but look at the buildings here. We have 3 barracks, 2 factories, 2 starports. That's it. He just doesn't have that many production facilities. He just doesn't. The current income is also fairly even. His gold base isn't up yet. We still have some random mines here. 4 more barracks on the way. Where are they being produced? They're being produced over here in a more safe location. We have another starport coming in too. That's great. I love that personally. A couple of extra command centers as well being thrown down. So despite Dark, honestly, not trading that poorly, the problem here is that Dark just hasn't been mining that much more than his opponent. Mines don't get the connections they wanted there. Lurker count is looking, honestly, pretty snappy. Pretty tight there, that lurker count. It's going to be key here to try and get another one in. Oh, look at that. Changeling is actually running past. Do we have a safe space here for a Nydus network? I think we might. Look at that. Oh, that's definitely a safe space. Right over there. No. Oh. Clem. We are not aware. We are not aware of what's going on in our main base right now. Nothing is popping out. What is our ghost count? We have 6 ghosts. We have 7 liberators. Liberators are going to be the game changer here, I think, to deal with this. Now these bad boys, they pop out and they just don't have any anti-air here, right? You're going to need Hydras in the mix as well to deal with this, in my opinion. And that doesn't really seem realistic as, yeah, Liberators are going to be taking this out. Really nicely done out of Clem. Such an easy solution to this often difficult problem. This lurker's gonna get taken out. We don't see anything else being constructed quite yet. Do we even have enough anti-air units? We have 14 Hydras and there's 10 Liberators total. I mean, if all 10 Liberators are together, these Hydras, they probably don't stand much of a chance. But if the Liberators are forced to split up, and with a Hydra you can, you know, you can find a hole in the armor of Clem, then perhaps we have something. Mine's gonna start moving in. Let's take a look. Oh my god, Dark is so fast. Look at that first person here. That's beautiful. So accurate, so quick. We have this Nydus worm here on the bottom side, and lurkers are going to be pushing out there at the same time. Dark with Pureling Bane tries to get in. Once again, this is not going to work simply because there are Liberators there. Liberators are such a good tool against this setup. Such a good tool against this setup. And I think Dark is starting to realize that. GG gets called instantly. He says, hey, I don't have the tools anymore. I don't have the income to bleed out units. Clem is going to be winning this game here. And a bit of a banger. The Liberators definitely saving him there. A lot of that infrastructure burned down in the main base. Almost a base trade, except Clem didn't get anything in return. But his trades in the end, good enough with the eco that he had. That's going to be it for us today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this game between Clem and Dark. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.